First tonight, the PHA accepting the ruling of the court after PMH found negligent in the death of a newborn baby.
There's no need to go back to, one, frustrate the court, and two, to relive this matter with family members.
Plus, break-ins on Bay, 2 longtime stores in downtown Nassau, the victims of overnight destruction and theft. And
the ankle monitor. It's used by officials to monitor those they need to keep a close eye on. But how effective is it? Stay tuned to our news tonight for more details.
And then in our news at 7:30, one Bimini resident says she's not surprised by the recent attack of a 9-year-old boy by a group of roaming dogs. We have the details for these stories and more as our news live at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. No appeal. That's the decision from the Public Hospitals Authority after a Supreme Court found Princess Margaret Hospital negligent in the death of a newborn baby, with officials saying the case must now serve as a lesson for the country's public health system. Our Delvado Emmanuel spoke to health officials who extended their condolences to the family today, while saying this matter will serve as a learning lesson.
What this does is two things. It moves us in the direction to ensure that our policies, procedures are adhered to, and also, if they are not, to move up to the level of standard, as well as to ensure that staff are educated.
That's PHA Managing Director Dr. Arbonnet Roll, responding to that recent Supreme Court ruling. The Public Hospitals Authority says it has no plans to appeal a recent Supreme Court ruling that found Princess Margaret Hospital negligent in the 2022 death of newborn Elizabeth Lundy. Acting Justice Renard Rigby found that the hospital staff failed to monitor Elizabeth and her mother, Wildline Gillamay, for 27 critical minutes while they waited outside the operating theater for an emergency cesarean section, ruling that the failure fell below the required standard of care and caused the baby's fatal injury. Today, Dr. Roll offering her condolences to the family while saying the agency will accept the court's decision.
There's no need to go back to, one, frustrate the court, and two, to relive this matter with family members.
Meanwhile, Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville saying the loss of a child is heartbreaking and that the case has already driven improvements within the public healthcare system.
Any malpractice case is a process of learning, and the PHA is now addressing the issue prior to the finalization of the case to improve the delivery of services, not only in the antenatal area, but also through the entire hospital. So it's unfortunate. It's a learning experience, not only for the PHA, for the clinicians that were involved and the associate medical staff.
Now, the judge has ordered that damages be assessed by the registrar of the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, PHA says their priority now is strengthening their procedures, ensuring no tragedy like this happens again. Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Thank you, Delvado. Well, a tragic story coming out of San Salvador. Police say a 57-year-old man died after the Nissan Note he was driving lost control and plunged into the sea near Hall's Landing. It happened just before 7 p.m. on Tuesday. These images show the aftermath, the compact car landing upside down as the ocean closed in around the vehicle. Residents on that island identifying the man as Carlos Williams. Police say passing motorists stopped to help, administering CPR before taking him to the local clinic, but he died an hour later. And a heartbreaking loss for a family and the wider Bahamas Power and Light family after a worker in Grand Key, Abaco tragically died after being electrocuted. In a press release, BPL expressed deep sorrow, extending condolences to the employees' loved ones and pledging support for staff as investigations continue. A second statement came from the Minister of Energy, Utilities and Aviation, JoBeth Colby Davis, who says she will personally reach out to the family and lead a delegation to support employees on the ground. And disturbing news from the courts. A 64-year-old man is behind bars after being charged with allegedly molesting his 8-year-old daughter. The man's name has been withheld to protect the identity of the alleged victim. Prosecutors allege the incident occurred between July 6 and July 17, 2026. The accused was not required to enter a plea to the incest charge when he appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Ancella Evans. Bail was denied and the matter was adjourned to October 29th for the presentation of voluntary bill of indictment. And a shocking discovery on Bay Street today for two local store owners who walked into chaos instead of customers. The stores were vandalized late last night with items stolen and damage left behind, all caught on camera. Police were on the scene early this morning to investigate. Our Evelyn Ferguson has the story.
Two longtime businesses were left picking up the pieces after an overnight break-in on Bay Street. Bahama Grandma Original Bahamian Gift Shop and the neighboring fashion center were both targeted. Gift shop owner Desiree Clark says thieves smashed through her front entrance, destroyed a display case, and stole merchandise. Next door, the fashion center's glass entrance was also completely shattered. Now, both business owners are trying to recover while questioning how something like this could happen in the heart of Nassau's busiest shopping district.
I left with my POS system that would contain my inventory. Basically, it's the brain of the business. Everything that I do business-wise is in that system. So they were able to get that, as well as a few other beverages and boxes. Some of them I can't even quite identify yet. I'd have to go back over the footage and check to itemize what has been removed one by one.
Clark still trying to process the shock of seeing years of hard work destroyed overnight.
And my goodness, I couldn't imagine what could have happened. You think about everything you've invested in your business, the hard work, the countless hours, the time, and then somebody just comes in and destroys what you have worked so hard for.
Clark is hoping investigators can piece together what happened using the shop's surveillance footage.
Yes, well, we do have cameras, a number of cameras in our store. And so, it's been turned over to the police, and hopefully they'll go through the footage and maybe we'll get some resolution to what happened here.
And beyond the damage, Clark says the area has long struggled with safety concerns.
We do know on Bay Street there are a number of vagrants that traverse this area on a daily basis. I've had problems with them in the past, so have other merchants. And so, I'm not certain what it could be, but it'd be great. And I have been told by a very reliable source that police patrols are going to pick up in this area. So it gives me hope. I am hopeful that things will change.
Now, the affected business owners are currently still assessing the damages, and the police are assisting in this ongoing investigation. Reporting for Our News, I'm Evelyn Ferguson.
Well, recent incidents involving people being electronically tracked via ankle monitors committing or becoming victims of crimes have grabbed national headlines, including the suspicious death of a man wearing an ankle monitor in Exuma. It's also raised questions about bail management and the system put in place to keep track of the accused. Like, how does it work? What are the parameters around it? And what happens when suspects break the rules? Our Joshua Williams takes an in-depth look at the situation in this report.
It's no secret there are persons among us that are on bail that are being electronically monitored. But how does it work? What are the cons, what are the pros, and are there flaws in the system?
Ankle monitors have been long used to keep an eye on their whereabouts. So how does it work? You can think of it like an Apple AirTag on your leg. It connects to a GPS and then a cell tower sends signals back to the monitoring company that's privately owned. So what's the main advantage? A source knowledgeable about the tool tells me the device can pinpoint exact locations of the persons wearing it and if they have left the area they're supposed to be in, essentially giving those monitoring all the information they need. This comes in handy with assisting police officers and even the courts. But like with any product, the devices come with challenges. The device could malfunction because of water damage. There could be attempts by the person to foil it or damage it, or they're not charging the device properly or at all. And there could be brief delays in transmission, or simply because technology just fails sometimes. And while some may believe information coming from these ankle monitors can be inaccurate, experts tell me that's less likely to happen. But what if someone deliberately cuts off their ankle monitor? The monitoring center gets a notification immediately, with the police being alerted
alerted almost simultaneously. Other tools can still help them find the person if the bracelet is cut off, leading to their arrest. And get this, the device has to be charged every day for 2 hours. Violation of this and other rules could also lead you to be arrested. But the big question, how are criminals who are electronically monitored still able to commit crimes? The truth is the monitoring company can't stop criminals, just report their whereabouts. And another concern, how are these persons allowed to skip sign-ins at police stations? It's explained that in some instances, persons do go to the stations based on what's tracked, but it doesn't necessarily mean they sign in. Again, showing movement can only be monitored, not controlled. But overall, officials say the system works, and while not perfect, has its benefits, all aimed at keeping our streets safe. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Great information. Thanks so much, Josh. Well, we've still got more to come, but for now, meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, how's it looking?
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Wednesday evening, everybody. Another toasty day around the islands. Temperatures managed to get up to 94 degrees, believe it or not. We are still in the 90s. 91 degrees outside our studios. We'll call it warm and hazy. It winds out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. But it is toasty. It feels like 97 degrees on the outside. Look at these temperatures around the islands. We are still near the 90-degree mark. 89 in Freeport, Grand Bahama. We pick up 87 in Alistown, Bimini. And the 90s stretch across Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Governors Harbour, Lutheran, 91s, Great Harbour, Key, the Berry Islands here in the capital. Look at Nicholstown, North Andros, 93. South Andros, Kemps Bay, also 93. 90 in Black Point, Exuma. We pick up 86 in Arthurstown, Kid Island, Deadman's Key, Long Island. 85s, Georgetown, Exuma, Port Nelson, Robin Key, as well as in Coburn Townsend, Salvador, and into the Southeast Bahamas. 84, Duncantown, Ragged Island. 88, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island. Delectable Bay, 87. 88 also in Abrahams Bay. We pick up 87 once again in Providenciales, Tricks, and Caicos Islands, and Matthewtown in Agua. You are the warm spot at 89. Satellite radar composite, this is the setup. We are stuck in a heat regime. That ridge of high pressure out of the Atlantic stretching across us. We also have some Saharan dust that's spreading across the entire chain of islands. Still have a little bit of moisture across the northern Bahamas, Grand Bahama, Bimini, as well as the Abacos. Could see 1 or 2 spotty showers, but that Saharan dust and that high pressure ridge will be with us. We're looking for some very, very toasty temperatures for the next couple of days. So if you plan on doing anything on the outdoors, do make sure you stay hydrated and take frequent breaks from the sun. That's a first look at weather. Stick with us. We'll take a second look at our weather when we come back.
Coming up in sports, the latest from the multi-sport games and a few baseball players getting it done on both sides of the ball.
A Sure Win is open 24/7.
You can now top up your Sure Win account anytime online with the online deposit option on AsureWin.com.
Or via any convenient SunCash ATM. Just click the Assure Win selection.
It's quick, easy, and always open. Assure Win online. What's your game?
Lotto, casino, or sportsbook.
Win big. It's a Sure Win.
Quick, easy, and always open. Assure Win online.
When you are hungry and on a tight budget, don't settle. Make the only choice and head on over to Wendy's and grab a biggie bag. Choose from a day's single, classic, or spicy chicken with a junior fry, regular drink, and 4-piece nuggets for only $9.95. That inclusive, order one today. That is made fresh especially for you when you order it. Wendy's is fast food done right. Certain restrictions apply.
For 38 years, Struckham Commercial Pest Services has provided trained certified technicians while using environmentally safe industry standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Struckham provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by Tanthier Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Antonique Strawn is not only a great podcast guest, but she's really, really fast. We check in on her at the Commonwealth Games and catch up with swimmers at CACs.
So far, so good for Team Bahamas' top sprinters in Glasgow. Strawn and Stephen Gardner both took care of business in the opening rounds of the 200 meters. Strawn finished third in her heat in a season's best 23.52 seconds. Her time, obviously, good enough to advance. Over on the men's side, Gardner crossed the line in 20.85 in his heat to secure an automatic place in the semis. Now the competition gets real. Both Bahamians return to the track during Thursday's semi-final sessions.
Sebas Walcott is putting up video game numbers since he got back. I know this because I've been playing MLB The Show, and I do the same thing when I create a player.
Walcott is making up for lost time, and after missing the first half of the season, he's returned with probably the hottest bat in minor league baseball. In a game where Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was on a rehab assignment, Walcott was the star, going 2 for 4 with a double and a go-ahead 3-run homer in the 7th inning.
No all-star hangover for JJ, the queen still reigns, even if she's kind of phased out of the offense in the second half, but whatever, a win is a win.
JJ picked up right where she left off, at least for the first half. Her New York Liberty returned from the WNBA All-Star break with a 113-109 win over the LA Sparks on the road. JJ scored 9, grabbed 5 boards, and dished 6 assists, and New York needed every bit of it.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. So much more where that came from. Hit us up right back here on our news at 7:30.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the Ebola outbreak in eastern Congo is worsening food insecurity. And the captain and 2 members in that deadly Guyana ferry accident now charged with murder. We have the details when our news returns.
Rubens has career wear from Casper and Klein and LeSuit that will take you from office perfection to after-hour elegance with professional tailored suiting and business casual pieces. We have your 9-to-5 fit, even in plus. At Rubens, we believe trailblazing women need clothing that will consistently deliver powerful looks that complement their style and confidence. Rubens has workwear for the guys too, with Dockers and Nautica pants, dress shirts, and more to enhance his professional wardrobe. Get dressed up with Rubens, Harbor Bay and Palmdale Plaza, with timeless suiting made to work.
You or a loved one currently under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Our compassionate team is committed to patients and their loved ones. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept all major insurance. With 2 locations to serve you, at Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street, we also ship to the Family Islands. Visit us on Facebook or call Ports at 377-1771.
Faye, you see Paradise Games out of new casino?
What you mean new casino? You mean like new games?
Yes, Faye. Brand new games. You ain't never see these yet. Check this. It's right under casino.
Oh, casino tree. But these are hot, eh?
I'm showing you. Paradise come up with all kind of games.
Come on, I need to go slap something on my account, man.
I might as well top up one time. Roll!
Paradise Games, where every spin is a chance to win. Paradise Games reminds you to please game responsibly.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The Ebola outbreak in eastern Congo is worsening food insecurity in a country already battling with one of the world's largest humanitarian crises. A long-running conflict has driven nearly 10 million people into crisis or emergency levels of hunger, with Ituri province the epicenter of the Ebola outbreak among the most affected, with 1.9 million of them. Across some 48 health zones affected with Ebola, more than 2.7 million people face acute food insecurity, including 628,000 in emergency conditions. The UN Food Agency said it has so far delivered more than 160,000 hot meals to patients, contacts, and frontline workers in 17 treatment and isolation centers. Russian authorities said they had charged Pavel Durov, the founder and CEO of the popular messaging app Telegram, with aiding terrorism, the latest step by the Kremlin to bring the internet and digital communications under its control. The charges against the Russian-born Durov, who lives abroad, came as authorities have sought to restrict the use of Telegram as part of a widespread crackdown on online freedom that followed Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The Federal Security Service said it had accused Telegram's administration of failing to remove numerous channels, chats, and bots allegedly used by Ukraine intelligence agencies, terrorist and extremist organizations to prepare and coordinate acts of sabotage and terrorism, mass murder, and cyber fraud in Russia, which resulted in numerous human casualties. The captain and 2 crew members of a passenger ferry in Guyana that capsized were charged with murder on Tuesday, more than a week after the disaster killed 73 people and left 30 others still missing. The MV Barima, an 87-year-old ship, sank on July 18th. Captain Kevin Price, age 40, and crew members Rondell Dwayne Roberts, 42, and Dillion Granderson, age 33, appeared before a Georgetown court on murder charges, and they were not required to enter pleas. The 3 were remanded to prison, and the case was adjourned to August 3rd. President Irfan Ali has announced a commission of inquiry into the accident. And following the accident, Prime Minister Mark Phillips said 2 of the crew members, including the captain, had tested positive for marijuana. On the other side of this break, a celebration rooted in history, heritage, and pride. Our entertainment correspondent, Danielle Miller, is in Barbados for Crop Over. And then in our news at 7:30, a story of jobs, economic growth, and a legacy that's become part of Bahamian life. Commonwealth Brewery preparing to celebrate 40 years. The details coming up when our news continues.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Danielle here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more great content, be sure to hit that notification button and follow the team you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on our TV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, industry leaders, cultural icons, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to environment, no topic.
News continues to showcase the people, places, and cultures of the Caribbean. Our Danielle Miller has touched down in Barbados, where the island is celebrating its biggest national festival, Crop Over. While many see it as a one big party, locals say the celebration is rooted in history, heritage, and pride. Take a look.
This week, I will be reporting to you from Barbados. From the moment I arrived at Grantley Adams International Airport in Barbados, the message was clear. It is crop over season. The terminal was filled with colorful decorations and costumes, welcoming visitors to the island's biggest celebration. And despite what many of our viewers might think, my taxi driver Michael made it clear that crop over should not be compared to any other regional festival, as it possesses its own distinct identity.
Some people call it carnival too. Trinidad has carnival. Yeah, it's crop over.
Crop Over spans several weeks and celebrates Bajan heritage through a series of events organized by the National Cultural Foundation. At the same time, private promoters host scores of fetes that keep the energy going well into the night. This was the scene at one of those events Tuesday night, Hyped. Bajan artist and disc jockey Jess J performed at the event. He says Crop Over gives Barbadians the opportunity to share their culture with the world.
It's a time of year where we get to show the world who we are. We get to show the world our unique accent, our unique sound, our unique style of dance. and you know just who we are as a people.
And the excitement is only building. Over the next few days, I'll take you behind the scenes of the last days of festival as the island prepares for its biggest day, Grand Cadonement.
That's the best. That is Christmas. that is our Christmas day. Like, I will always say, Monday coming, that is the best Monday of the year, and I know everybody is going to agree with me on that.
Reporting from Barbados for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks so much, Danielle. Well, we can't get you to Barbados this year, but you can watch the story again or any story from tonight on ournews.bs. That's going to do it for Our News Live at 7. Handed it over to our Jerome Sawyer. And Jerome, speaking of celebrations, I must wish my mother a happy birthday before I forget right now.
Yes, Mom. Happy birthday from all of us to you. But before we go, Barbados? Only Danny.
Only the best assignments, the best times.
And I keep hearing that song, Come There We Jam for a Cup Over. Remember that? No.
That ain't in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. All right. Thanks a lot. Well, tonight, a beach vendor is at odds with the Beaches and Parks Authority, and a viral video sparks a frantic search for a missing boy today. Here's a look at your latest headlines. Ahead tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, the Public Hospitals Authority in the spotlight again. This time it's over the flooding at A&E over the weekend. What's being done to prevent a repeat of the flood waters washing through the new facility? And later, an Arawak key vendor told to remove beach furniture face shut down. Well, the Beaches and Parks Authority says they're in violation of their license, but the business owners are presenting another side. And then...
I'm Janessa Ouden, and coming up tonight, a Bimini resident is speaking out after a 9-year-old American boy was mauled by dogs. More on this coming up ahead.
And then a family's panic. A missing boy turns up after a nationwide Marcos alert. We'll tell you how it all ended. Our News Live at 7:30 starts in a moment.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button if you'd like to see more content like this. Follow all of the Our News social media pages so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
People today that have a heart attack and need to have a vessel open can essentially leave the hospital sometimes in 24 hours and sometimes even on the same day. This is unheard of.
We can actually treat our patients right here.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Our News Live at 7:30. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jerome Sawyer in for Italia Hall tonight. The Public Hospitals Authority has been found responsible for an infant death within hours of her birth at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Baby Elizabeth Lundy died of perinatal asphyxia 2 hours after she was born on August 2nd back in 2022. Now, Acting Justice Reynard Rigby ruled that the baby's mother, Willine Guillaume, is entitled to damages which have yet to be assessed. Now, the judge ruled that the hospital and obstetrician, Dr. Agatha Folks-Mackey, fell below the required standard of care by failing to monitor Ms. Guillaume and her baby between 4:10 and 4:37 a.m. as she waited to enter the operating theater. He ruled that the failure to monitor the baby caused her death. And now for an update on that weekend flooding at the Princess Margaret Hospital, Managing Director of the Public Hospitals Authority, Dr. Abanet Roll, telling reporters this morning at an assessment or at a press conference that an assessment was done and that they're now trying to mitigate this by moving into mitigation mode. Videos obtained by Our News on Sunday showed the flooding in the newly renovated Accident and Emergency Department at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The localized flooding followed severe thunderstorms that dumped inches of rain across New Providence. The water entered the facility through the ambulance bay doors. Dr. Roll says The project team who conducted the assessment came up with a few solutions, including installing a roll-down door at the A&E entrance.
That helps us on 3 levels. One, to mitigate the water, the extent of water coming through, because remember now, we're at that peak where there is a what you call a little hill that comes down, so the water comes down to the trough, and in there, we saw no blockage in our drainage system, but we may have to put some additional drains there. But we are moving to get a costing for a roll-down door as well, and so we will seek to have all of those approval by the incoming board.
And later on in our newscast, we'll tell you how that new harborside facility for PMH was commissioned today. Well, a dispute over beach chairs and umbrellas has put one of the Western Esplanade's best-known businesses at odds with the Bahamas Public Beaches and Public Parks Authority, with both sides defending their positions. Our Delvado Emmanuel visited the business at the center of the dispute today.
Chippies, it is what it is. Beach Bar says the livelihood of its employees is now on the line after receiving a notice from Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority ordering them to remove their beach chairs and umbrellas or face possible closure.
The letter indicates that his permit doesn't allow him to put chairs and umbrellas on the beach.
The letter was issued on Friday, July 24th. Giving the business until Thursday, July 30th to remove the chairs and umbrellas from the shoreline or face possible enforcement action. Located on the far right of Western Esplanade Beach, it's hard to miss the sea of red umbrellas that has become a landmark for both tourists and locals. But now the future of the family-owned business is uncertain. On Wednesday, I visited the beach and spoke with manager Reese Shipman, who says he immediately contacted officials at the Bahamas Public Beaches and Public Parks Authority seeking an explanation for the notice.
And I said to them, well, can you put something in writing so that we would know not only the infraction, but we also want to know what policy there is that we are not guided by or that we are not following.
Shipman says he never received the clarification he was seeking. He maintains the business employs more than 15 people, many of whom rely on their jobs to support their families.
We have asked the authority to allow sufficient time for back-to-school arrangements so these persons could make sure their children are in school properly.
But the Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority sees it differently. Says the business permit only authorized the sale of food and drinks, not the rental or use of beach chairs and umbrellas.
There are other vendors on the beach who make their living off of renting lounge chairs and umbrellas. So he is now cutting into their livelihoods by offering this service. And because it does not come under his permit, he is actually ultra-virus to what we're attempting to do. And that's give a number of Bahamians opportunities.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
Well, a Bimini resident says the horrific dog attack involving a 9-year-old American boy was not unexpected. Speaking exclusively with Our News Today, the resident, who asked not to be identified, claims the dog has been roaming the neighborhood for months despite repeated warnings to their owners. Our News' Chanasa Outen has the story tonight.
It wasn't surprising to me. You only was waiting to hear.
That was the reaction from a Bimini resident living near the scene where a 9-year-old American boy was mauled by a pack of dogs. Police say the boy was attacked Tuesday morning while collecting sand from a nearby beach. According to reports, an unidentified man was able to chase the dogs away. The boy suffered serious bite injuries to his arms, legs, face, and head before being airlifted to the United States for further treatment. This resident, speaking to me on condition of anonymity, says she believes the attack was a situation waiting to happen, and claims neighbors had repeatedly warned the dog's owner.
I told him, I see, very soon you will be so sorry that you have these dogs roaming, everybody talking to you, you won't listen. So you will be sorry one day, and this is the day now that he is sorry.
According to the resident, the pack is made up of about 6 to 7 dogs that have long terrorized the neighborhood. They say concerns were raised almost daily, adding that the dogs and their alleged aggressive behavior were also reported to police.
Said to him, I say, the dogs might know you, but they don't know everybody. And I told him, I say, one day these dogs going to attack someone.
Now they say the situation has become so dangerous that many have stopped enjoying their own community.
One of the gentlemen, about 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, he went to the beach. He had to hurry up and run back because the dog was after him. They was coming towards him. Now for months and months, we even can't go to the beach.
The incident comes amid growing concern over dog attacks across the country. In a response, the Royal Bahamas Police Force issued this flyer, reminding pet owners to secure their animals, use leashes, and post warning signs for guard dogs. The Bahamas Humane Society also weighing in.
A roaming dog issue. We have dogs that are allowed to roam because people do not contain their dogs to their properties, and that is the issue. So I feel really bad about the little boy and the old man and the other case in Camp Road.
Now, the condition of that 9-year-old boy is not currently known. However, residents of Bimini said that they hope something is done soon before another attack happens. Reporting for Our News, I'm Nassau.
Thanks a lot, Janasa. Well, we can report a happy ending to a scary situation today. 10-year-old Keon DeVoe has been found after being reported missing by police early on Wednesday. A nationwide Marcos alert was issued earlier, alerting us to the missing child. Shortly after the alert was issued, this video went viral, showing what appears to be a boy stepping into a red Honda Fit at the location where police said he was last seen. Although police haven't confirmed the authenticity of the video, it sparked panic across social media today. 2 hours after a missing poster was issued, police said the 10-year-old boy was found. However, police are giving no details of his return or even the condition of the boy tonight. More teens are finding themselves at the center of serious crimes, and one youth advocate says it's a trend that needs some swift action. Crime advocate and Teen Challenge Bahamas President Eric Fox says he's deeply concerned about the growing number of young people linked to serious crimes, including murders and armed robberies. You may remember that on Independence Day, a teen was fatally shot in a yard in the Baintown community. In recent months, other teens have appeared before the courts facing serious criminal charges. Speaking on the sidelines of an urban renewal event today, Fox said too many young people are focusing on crimes themselves while overlooking the underlying issues driving young people toward violence.
It's obvious there are some warfare going on. I believe a lot stuff is related to retaliation, and also when we see this kind of stuff going on, we need to understand there's a bigger picture, some other things as well. Normally drugs. Normally it's drugs. People are involved in trafficking drugs, and drugs people get ripped, and fellas they take that seriously.
All right, and for years, authorities and advocates have tried to come up with solutions to this problem. Fox says while it's often easy to cast blame, what's missing is the support and efforts of communities.
We need to try to find a way. So here I say we, right? I ain't putting nothing off on the government. The police, Commissioner Police Shannon knows, and the police officers, they doing their job. They are, but they can't determine who want to do nothing. All they can do is respond after the fact. So I believe if we can work closer with the police and giving them information and work closely with them and not being pulled back where we withhold stuff from them, we can see a lot of stuff be solved, a lot of stuff come to head. We also need to push some more conflict resolution in the schools. We need to make this type of stuff a part of the curriculum.
All right, we've got a lot more news to get to tonight, but first it's time for our first look at temperatures across the country. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center tonight. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Jerome, and a happy Wednesday evening, everybody. Yeah, the temperatures, it's very warm on the outside. 91 degrees is our current temperature, and it feels like 97. Your winds out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour, and we'll call it warm and hazy on the outside. Satellite radar composite, we are stuck in a high-pressure regime and some Saharan dust that's spreading across the entire chain of islands, keeping us very dry and very toasty. Some lingering moisture across the northwest Bahamas, courtesy of what's left of that funnel boundary, sparking a few showers near the Bimini, Grand Bahama, as well as the Abacos, but that ridge of high pressure and that Saharan dust will stay with us throughout the remainder of the week. We're looking for dry conditions, also some very, very hot temperatures. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. We'll take a look at your extended forecast and the tropics when we come back.
And still to come on our news tonight, reducing pressure on PMH, a new harborside facility commissioned today.
Once officially operational, this facility will bring vital healthcare solutions to our patients in a rapid, cost-effective manner.
And a story that's 40 years in the making. Commonwealth Brewery celebrates 4 decades of brewing beer and building lives. That's coming up when our news returns.
Sun, sea, good friends.
And bold new flavor has arrived in the Bahamas. Introducing the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. Spicy jalapenos, cool ranch, fresh Wendy's beef, one perfect balance. This isn't a heat you run from, you enjoy it. Bring the heat. Keep the cool with Wendy's new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Kansas is a great house to play, even down to the staff is perfect. You're going to marvel.
The Paint Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun's so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go. On the God one. People, yeah, we are equal. 21 senses. So high without faith.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.
Sun, sea, good friends.
And bold new flavor has arrived in the Bahamas. Introducing the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. Spicy jalapenos, cool ranch, fresh Wendy's.
The Public Hospitals Authority is expanding its healthcare network with the addition of the Harborside facility. It's a move that healthcare administrators hope will help reduce pressure on the Princess Margaret Hospital while expanding access to specialized care. The facility was officially handed over by Doctors Hospital during a contract signing ceremony today. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville says the government purchased the multi-purpose facility for $29 million. Once renovations are complete, it will offer urgent and outpatient care, step-down and extended care, as well as a range of specialized clinical services.
Once officially operational, this facility will bring vital healthcare solutions to our patients in a rapid, cost-effective manner. This new PHA healthcare facility, we can boast of a 46 private bed spaces here at this urgent care facility and at the Harborside. We also have diagnostic services and labs, and in line, we'll be signing a contract very shortly to continue the renovation of this particular asset to meet our requirements. We're also providing dedicated specialized care units inclusive of emergency dialysis.
So the Harborside facility will feature 46 private beds, diagnostic services, laboratory facilities, emergency dialysis, an aquatic rehabilitation program, green spaces, and full inpatient and outpatient pharmacy services. It will also serve as a training site for nurses, doctors, and other allied health professionals as the Public Hospitals Authority continues to expand its capacity. Now, Doctors Hospital President Dr. Charles Diggis says the transfer reflects the hospital's long-standing commitment to working with the government to improve healthcare access for all Bahamians.
This transfer of the assets today speaks very clearly to the fact that Doctors Hospital does not pay significant attention to the fact that you have to pay for our services. That is a part of our business model, and that is important for us to stay viable in business. But our commitment to the government, ever since we took the deep dive into participating into the provision of care for patients with COVID speaks strongly to Doctors Hospital's willingness to take the risk regardless of the ability for patients or Bahamians to afford.
So this next story was 40 years in the making. This October, Commonwealth Brewery Limited is celebrating 4 decades, 40 years of brewing in the Bahamas and building lives. Company execs say it's not just about jobs and economic growth. It's about a legacy that becomes a part of Bahamian life. Our Jamila Missick picks up the story from here.
Founded through a partnership between Heineken and the Associated Bahamas Distillers and Brewers, the brewery's story began in the mid-1980s with the first locally brewed bottles of Heineken and Guinness rolling off the production line in 1987. Today, CBL contributes about 1% of the nation's GDP, employs more than 350 Bahamians directly, and supports hundreds more through its network of suppliers and partners. For Chairman Julian Francis, brewing in the Bahamas has always been about putting Bahamians first.
The Bahamian population actually is a very important consumer of brewery, of beverage products. And so it makes a lot of sense to have local production of those products, which avoids having to import them.
Managing Director Eddie Mbachelier says he was immediately struck by the brewery's strong local foundation and its vision for continued growth.
I think there are really 3 things that makes us particularly proud. The first one is the people behind the brewery. The second one is that we have a resilient operation with a proud history. And the third one is that we are really building for the future.
That future starts with recognizing the journey. Senior Corporate Affairs and Sustainability Manager Arnett Ingram says this anniversary is as much about the Bahamas as it is about the company.
I think it's important because I want people to understand that we are more than a brewery. We are literally one of the largest manufacturers here in the Bahamas, and we've been quietly operating for 40 years. We've been doing a good job. People have seen our flagship brands, but they don't know that the brewery is actually the engine behind all of that. So we really wanted to just open up our doors and make sure that the Bahamian community that supports us can see what is made here and can be proud of us as we are proud of ourselves.
And while 40 years is certainly worth celebrating, company leaders say they're already looking ahead to the next chapter.
This company, which already produces, but also sells, distributes a whole range of products, we're going to see the further, expansion of the line of products, the choices which are made available to the Bahamian consumer, and importantly, the opportunity for Bahamian investors, Bahamian savers, to invest in this business and to benefit from its growth.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jamila Missick.
Coming up in sports, we keep our head on a swivel, going back and forth between the Commonwealth and CAC games. And in baseball, Sebastian Walcott is proof that sometimes a little break can be a good thing. Imagine if I took a break from this. I would be so much better.
The Jilly. Sun, sea, good friends.
And bold new flavor has arrived in the Bahamas. Introducing the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. Spicy jalapenos, cool ranch, fresh Wendy's beef. One perfect balance. This isn't a heat you run from, you enjoy it. Bring the heat. Keep the cool with Wendy's new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. You're going to marvel.
The Paint Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Antonique Strawn is not only a great podcast guest, but she's really, really fast. We check in on her at the Commonwealth Games and catch up with swimmers at CACs. So far, so good for Team Bahamas' top sprinters in Glasgow. Strawn and Stephen Gardner both took care of business in the opening rounds of the 200 meters. Strawn finished third in her heat in a season's best 23.52 seconds. Her time, obviously, good enough to advance. Over on the men's side, Gardner crossed the line in 20.85 in his heat to secure an automatic place in the semis. Now the competition gets real. Both Bahamians return to the track during Thursday's semifinal sessions. At the CAC Games in Santo Domingo, Team Bahamas also had several swimmers in action. Caden Wells led the way, becoming the first Bahamian to reach an A final at the Games. He finished 10th in the men's 100-meter breaststroke in 1 minute 5.92 seconds. Tristan Hepburn won the B final in that event with a personal best 1 minute 5.16 seconds, while Renishka Gibbs also captured a B final win in the event. Zoe Williamson and Leela Lewis also competed in their respective B finals. Sebas Walcott is putting up video game numbers since he got back. I know this because I've been playing MLB The Show, and I do the same thing when I create a player. Walcott is making up for lost time, and after missing the first half of the season, he's returned with probably the hottest bat in minor league baseball. In a game where Rangers shortstop Corey Seager was on a rehab assignment, Walcott was the star, going 2 for 4 with a double and a go-ahead 3-run homer in the 7th inning. The numbers through 11 games have been insane. A .395 average, 3 homers, 3 stolen bases, and a monster 1.19 OPS. I know you don't know what that means, but it's amazing. Up in the majors, we care about defense so much that we bring you Jazz highlights even when he goes hitless. Chisholm had a pair of Gold Glove-like plays, showing some range at second to help the Yankees clinch a 3-2 win over the White Sox. The Yankees have now won 11 of their last 15 and go for the series sweep tonight. No all-star hangover for JJ, the queen still reigns, even if she's kind of phased out of the offense in the second half, but whatever, a win is a win. JJ picked up right where she left off, at least for the first half. Her New York Liberty returned from the WNBA All-Star break with a 113-109 win over the LA Sparks on the road. JJ scored 9, grabbed 5 boards, and dished 6 assists, and New York needed every bit of it. The Liberty blew a double-digit lead, fell behind by 9 in the third, but closed out the game on a run and improved to 16-12. They're now 2 games behind the Indiana Fever for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10OIS. Guys, you don't need to be mad on behalf of VJ about LeBron going to Philly. VJ himself ain't even mad about it. This myth of some perceived nobility in the most struggle possible, ridiculous. Don't teach your kids that. Teach them, surround yourselves with winners. Sixers in 5.
And still to come, Greg is back in the Weather Center tonight with your complete and extended weather forecast. Stay with us.
Sun, sea, good friends.
And bold new flavor has arrived in the Bahamas. Introducing the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. Spicy jalapenos, cool ranch, fresh Wendy's beef. One perfect balance. This isn't a heat you run from, you enjoy it. Bring the heat. Keep the cool with Wendy's new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. You're going to marvel.
The Paint Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun's so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go. I'm the God one. People, yeah, we are equal. 24 senses. So I
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and
The Atlantic hurricane season is here, and now is the time to get prepared.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider
This is our news. Welcome back. First, a look at the tropics, where we have a couple of tropical waves moving across the tropical belt, one just off the coast of Africa, just south of the Cape Verde Islands, another one approaching the northern coast of South America, very weak one passing through the northern portions of Venezuela, and another moving into central Mexico. That's actually going to continue to move towards the west. But closer to home, we still have lingering moisture across our area, courtesy of a weakening and dissipating frontal boundary, or what's left of it. Still keeping a couple of isolated showers in place across the northern islands, Grand Bahama, Bimini, as well as the Apacos. But Saharan dust and a ridge of high pressure dominating the remainder of the islands. That ridge and that Saharan dust will continue to spread across the entire chain, looking for some drier conditions and some very hot temperatures. We got up to 94 degrees here in the capital today, and we're looking for those temperatures to continue throughout the remainder of the week. So if you plan on doing anything on the outdoors, do make sure you stay hydrated and take frequent breaks. But that ridge of high pressure will stay through us and keep everything to the north. And once again, hot temperatures expected throughout the remainder of the week. Boating forecast. If you plan on doing any of that tonight through tomorrow in the northwest Bahamas, your winds will be out of the south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be running 2 to 4 feet. High tide is at 8:52 tonight. Your low tide takes place at 3:09 in the morning. For the central Bahamas, a southeast southerly flow at 10 to 15 knots expected. Seas 2 to 4 feet. While in the southeast Bahamas, a caution flag in place for you guys down there. East to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas will be running 4 to 6 feet. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, spotty showers expected, but that Saharan dust will keep things rather dry. So we're looking at some clouds off and on. Temperatures will be very, very toasty. We're looking at some mid-90s for tomorrow, and that will continue through the remainder of the week. More moisture coming up on the start of next week, so we stick some showers in there for early next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thank you so much, Greg. Of course, we're always looking to see what the weather's going to be like on the weekend. Looks like we may be pretty okay, particularly if you're going to be outdoors. Well, that's going to do it for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Jerome Sawyer. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Until then, have yourself a wonderful day.